Members, this is a special day for me, and I don't get the opportunity a lot to talk about my military service and the people I serve with. And today we're here to recognize someone who will be retiring soon, and that's Brigadier General Elliot. And I'm going to tell you a quick story. The first time I experienced General Elliot was on a phone call, which I think he claims he doesn't remember, but I was in the Guard in West Virginia and was a newly minted major, and I called then Colonel Elliot and said, hey, I'm interested in coming to the Guard in Oklahoma and just trying to figure out what's going on and what I need to do. And he proceeded to tell me, well, this is what's going on, and here's what's happening with positions and so on and so forth. And he said, we're happy to have you come into the Army. And I said, sir, I don't think you understand. I'm already on the air side. Can you give me the contact information for the air component judge advocate? And I got one response, one word. It was no. But I'm going to tell you that when I did show up on his doorstep a couple months later, I realized what type of an officer he was. He became a mentor to me. He's a friend. And there's a reason why he's retiring as a one-star general. You've got some of his JAGs here as well. If you didn't know, if you've been hiding under a rock, he's the director of ODVA. So you have some of his employees here as well as his JAGs. He makes a big difference in this state in many different capacities. And we, as the Veterans Caucus and Senator Racino here, representing the Senate, just wanted to congratulate him and acknowledge him and honor him for his years of service. And I think at this time I'll turn it over to the chairman of the Veterans Caucus, Representative West.
Thanks, Chris. We just want to let you know, General, we appreciate your over 30 years of service to your country. We appreciate your sacrifice, your family's sacrifice. You know, there's values that you live by in the Army. It's loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. Selfless service being the most important one. And just listen to the pastor's remarks this morning. He talked about all the division in our country and in our state. And you look at the military, it's got to be the greatest example of a melting pot, because you don't care race, religion, creed, party, Republican or Democrat, doesn't matter. You have one goal in common, that's to shoot the bad guy. And so we appreciate your service, sir. We appreciate what you continue to do for the state and for veterans. And Madam Speaker, will you please have the clerk read the citation?
Clerk will read.
Whereas the state of Oklahoma takes great pride in honoring Brigadier General Steve Douglas Elliot upon his retirement from the Oklahoma Army National Guard. And whereas Brigadier General Steve Douglas Elliot was commissioned in 1988 through the Reserve Officer Training Corps program as an ordnance officer at Southeastern Oklahoma State University, later earning his Juris Doctorate from the University of Oklahoma. And whereas Brigadier General Steve Douglas Elliot served as Assistant General Counsel for the Army and Air Force Exchange Service while on active duty, served as Staff Judge Advocate for the 90th Troop Command, and served as Staff Judge Advocate for the 45th Infantry Brigade Combat Team. And whereas Brigadier General Steve Douglas Elliot deployed to Afghanistan June 2003 through November 2004, serving as the Staff Judge Advocate for the Headquarters 45th Brigade Support Battalion Combined Joint Task Force Phoenix. And whereas Brigadier General Steve Douglas Elliot is the recipient of the Bronze Star Medal, the Meritorious Service Medal, the Army Commendation Medal, the Army Achievement Medal with 1 Bronze Star, the Army Reserve Components Achievement Medal with 2 bronze oak leaf clusters, the National Defense Service Medal with 1 Bronze Star Service Stars, and the Afghanistan Campaign Medal with 1 star, the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, the Armed Forces Reserve Medal with Silver Hourglass Device and 2M Device, and the Combat Action Badge, along with many other awards and decorations too numerous to mention. And whereas the state of Oklahoma recognizes Brigadier General Steve Douglas Elliot for his 30 years of military service, including his final assignment as an Assistant Adjutant General for the state of Oklahoma. And whereas the state of Oklahoma offers its commendation and gratitude to Brigadier General Steve Douglas Elliot for his dedication, fortitude, and devotion to this state and our great nation. Now therefore, pursuant to the motion of Representatives Chris Kennedy, Josh West, Kevin McDougall, Tim Downing, John Pfeiffer, Dale Derby, Ed Cannaday, Roger Ford, Tommy Harden, Chuck Hoskin, Randy McDaniel, Kevin Calvi, Lewis Moore, Jeff Cootie, Mike Ritz, Sean Roberts, and John Bennett, the Oklahoma House of Representatives extends to Brigadier General Steve Douglas Elliot sincere commendations and directs that this citation be presented.
Madam Speaker, I would ask that General be allowed to address the body.
You're recognized.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I know this is housekeeping to most of you, but it's a pretty big deal to me and my family. This whole thing has been a really good ride, but I just want to throw out a thank you to you folks. You talk about selfless service for my 30 years, but what you guys do coming from the panhandle of Oklahoma or from southeastern Oklahoma to come up here and do this for the state of Oklahoma, I commend you. It's been, as you know, my name's come up quite a bit in the recent past over several bits of legislation. But I think I'm doing the right thing, and I'm always going to try to do the right thing for the state of Oklahoma, as I'm sure you are. But again, I want to throw out just an extra thank you to what you do, and most of you have treated me with the utmost respect, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much.